Hey everyone, this is the lesson on problem and solution text structure. You should be watching this video on Tuesday, April 14th, I believe. We're still working with the mentor text Rise of the Drones, and today we're going to focus on the article Cage the Machines by Peter Sowell. Now, so we can get a better look, I'm going to go to my tools and zoom in. Remember that you can do the same. All right. So the first thing I'm going to ask myself when I'm looking at this article, Cage the Machines, since we're thinking of text structure, I want to ask myself a few things. Number one, what problem or problems does the author present in this article? Number two, what solutions or solution to those problems does the author present as well? And number three, why did the author use a problem and solution text structure to support their claim, to support what they believe? I'll start by reading aloud these first 2 pages of the text. I might not read all of them, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to annotate details that help me identify problem and solution and help me figure out why the author used a problem and solution text structure. All right, let's start with paragraph 1. Drone use comes with a lot of risks to the public, so drones should be more regulated. In this opinion text, the author is clearly stating his claim right here in paragraph 1. The author wants drones to be more regulated because of the risks associated with them. Now, like I said, I'm annotating. I'm going to go to my tools and I'm going to grab my pen. Make it a color that we can see. We'll make it red. And I'm going to underline the word risks, because the word risks made me think of something. I know risks can be related to a problem, and that's what we're looking for, problems and solutions. So let me think. I'm going to continue reading and see if the text starts talking about what those risks or problems with drones might be. Paragraph 2. Unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, are small aircraft that are remotely controlled by a person. They are amazing pieces of technology. Having the power of flight in hand is wondrous, but this power needs to be regulated properly. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, expects drone sales to grow from 2.5 million to 7 million by 2020. That's a lot of buzzing in the future. Not too much on problem and solution there. Let's move to paragraph 3. Drones can collide with other aircraft, endangering those both in the air and on the ground. For example, someone was flying a drone near a wildfire in California trying to get a photograph. Because firefighter helicopters saw the drone, they had to turn back for fear of a collision. The rescue effort was then delayed. Well, my signals are going off right now. I'm seeing some words that make me think of a problem. I'm going to grab my pen again. First word I saw was the word endangering. I know if you endanger something, I can even see the word danger in there. It means we're risking it. We're not doing great things to whatever we are endangering. I also saw that drones can collide with other aircraft, endangering those both in the air and on the ground. So what this paragraph is saying is that drones can crash into other aircrafts, and that puts people in the air and on the ground in danger. Well, here's the first problem I'm seeing, so I'm going to make a note of it. I'll grab my Post-it, put it off to the side, move it so I can still see the paragraph. I can move it back down later. And I'll say problem. Drones can crash into other vehicles / aircrafts and put people and planes in danger. That's kind of my own clarification summary of what paragraph 3 said. So I identified a problem. I'll click off and I'll move my Post-it down here where I can more easily see it.
Future.
Once again, you'll do that a lot. So I saw earlier that it mentioned risks. That was a signal for me for a problem. I also saw the words collide and endangering, which made a siren go off in my head. Those are words that make me think of an issue, something that's not good. And we realized that the problem was that drones could crash into other vehicles and put things in danger. We also saw down here that firefighter helicopters had to go away from fighting a fire because they didn't want to collide or crash with the drone. So then, another problem, the rescue effort was then delayed. So maybe I'll put another note here. This is just me thinking out loud.
Delayed.
Another problem. Drones can get in the way of other aircrafts doing important things. Another note for myself to identify the problem. Now I'm going to continue reading and I'm going to look for a solution. An author will often list a solution after they introduce a problem. So I'm thinking the problem is that drones can be risky and dangerous to the public. They might crash into each other. They might delay other vehicles or aircrafts doing important things. Now I'm going to see, does the author offer a solution to these issues? Let me read paragraph 4. It says, the FAA requires almost all drones to be registered, and civilian drones must have an identification sticker. Currently, drones can be flown only below 121 meters, 400 feet, and at least 8 kilometers, 5 miles, away from airports. Okay, I'm thinking they want the drones to be away from airports so they don't crash into other aircrafts or airplanes. These are good ideas, but more work is still needed. Many new drone buyers might not know that the FAA exists. A training course and information about the regulations could be included in the purchase of each new drone on the market. As I read this paragraph, I saw a phrase that made me think of a solution. I'm going to get my highlighter, make it a nice bright yellow. And I'm going to highlight the words good ideas. Now the reason I did that is because that made me think of a solution to a problem. Thinking me back to my text structure, problem and solution. Now, what was a good idea? Well, if I look earlier in the paragraph, the author was talking about how the FAA, which is an organization that helps to regulate drones, they require drones to be registered. That means the company knows who owns drones, where they are, and they must have an identification sticker. So that's helping keep better track of the drones that are being flown. I also see that drones can only be flown a certain way, below 120 meters and at least 8 kilometers away from airports. So I highlighted those details that tell me how the author's showing a possible solution for the issue with drones. The author also says a training course could be included in the purchase of each drone. So the author's saying we're doing some stuff to regulate drones and solve those problems we mentioned earlier, but we could do more as well. Now, these are all solutions to the problem of drones being dangerous that were mentioned earlier. I'm going to take a sticky note and mark this detail with my own words. We'll do, this one's green. I'm going to say solution. Because drones are dangerous, I wanted to remind myself of what the issue at hand was here. Because drones are dangerous, the FAA makes drones register and have an identification sticker. In the future, I want to go back. Because not only did it say that drones have to register and have an identification sticker, but it also says they must stay a certain distance away from airports and other airplanes and aircrafts. So I'll add that in as well. Because drones are dangerous, the FAA makes drones register and have an identification sticker. They also require drones to stay, let's see, what did it say? About 5 miles away from airports. And I had come to a conclusion myself that I'll add in here. so that they don't interfere with other aircrafts. But remember, I also said they had a possible solution at the bottom, something that they could maybe do to even increase the solving of the problem with drones. So I'll add to my note and say another solution is that training courses could be offered for each drone owner. Now, I emphasize the word could. I put that in all capital letters to show that this isn't happening yet, but it's something that could help. So, those are my problem and solution markings, reading this text and annotating those details.
Mark it.
Now, the author described a problem related to drones, and I'm wondering why. So let me look back to the author's claim. The author's claim right here that said, drone use comes with a lot of risks to the public, so drones should be more regulated. Now, I'm wondering, why did the author choose to use this text structure? Well, I'm thinking the author probably mentioned issues with drones, that they collide, endanger people in the air, they pose risks to the public, to support his arguments that the drones need to be more regulated. He wants people to see there's issues that we need to try to solve. Then he lists different information in the solution section to show that things are being done right now to try to solve this problem, but like he said earlier, with drones should be more regulated, more could be done. A training course could be offered. More information about the regulations could be offered each time someone purchases a drone. So he wants to tell us things are being done, but more could be done as well. So I'll make myself one last note. I'll put it right here. I'll say, I think the author used problem and solution text structure to show the problems with drones, like endangering other people. He also wanted to say that although the problems are being solved in some ways, we could do more, like provide drone training courses. So all this was me walking through my thinking. How can I identify the problem and solutions, and why do I think the author used them?
Drones.
Now it's almost your turn to try doing the same thing as me. Read an opinion text, look for those signal words, words that make you think of a problem or a solution, and try to understand why the author used those structures.